What's up, team? No, your eyes are not backwards, and no, my camera is not backwards. If you are not at staff meeting, this is a part of our 30-year stuff, and it's turning the world upside down. Actually, the word may be backwards. It is backwards on the screen that I'm looking at, but I think it'll be flipped. By the time that you see it, it's just the way that the camera back mirrors so that I can see, whatever. But this is a part of our 30-year merch. And it's based on a verse in the New Testament that says those that turn the world upside down have come here also. It's actually a complaint that's being elevated against the Jesus followers in, I think, the Ephesian court of law. It might be in Thessalonica. And they are just upset that these Christians are everywhere. And I feel like those who said yes to start Cedar Creek have, in part, turned my world upside down. And we get to continue that legacy. We want to be an unstoppable movement of people living out their God-given purpose, and I think that'll turn the world upside down. So that's what you're seeing here. This weekend, we kick off a brand new series called Angry Jesus. We're going to look at four different specific times Jesus was angry. And I'm sure you can think of one of them. It's the one that everybody thinks of, Jesus turning the tables over. We'll be talking about this weekend. But there will also be a time where Jesus got angry at a man with leprosy. He got angry with his disciples. He got angry at the religious leaders. And then the last week is a time when Jesus should have gotten angry and he didn't. And so that's what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks. And the goal is really to, yes, see these moments to get to know Jesus, but also allow Jesus to impact our life today. So we'll kick that off. I have two things, though, that I want to cover with you as it relates to ways that I think I can help equip you out of staff meeting and in light of some of the challenging circumstances that you may find yourself in at home, with the team, or whatever. So first, at staff meeting, we talked about the 5 levels of leadership. And then if you were at the Creek Help Academy, Mike talked through the leadership pipeline, which is how someone goes up the pipeline and develops leading self, leading others, leading leaders, leading teams of leaders, and then leading departments to ultimately leading ministry or executive level leadership. And so as you think about your development, where you're at in the pipeline, I think that framework is helpful. And again, the reason that this is so important, I think Andy Stanley said it really well. So if you're a note taker, you're probably going to want to write this one down. I know I did. He says that organizations accomplish what they are organized to do. I'll say it again. Organizations accomplish what they are organized to do. If you're not organized, you probably won't accomplish anything. And if you're organized around care, you'll care. If you are organized around a mission, you'll accomplish that mission. Dr. Henry Cloud says, you get what you create or you allow. It's just another way of saying what Andy says. You're getting in your ministry, and the truth is, in your own life, you're getting what you create or what you allow. Now, yes, some of you are arguing. You're like, but Ben, I didn't choose so-and-so interrupting my life. That is true. We all have to react to other people. But the ongoing patterns that we have in our life, most of the time, are a result of what we have created, or hear me, or what we continue to allow to happen in our life. And so once you're aware of that and sense God's Spirit in that, it can allow you to go, okay, what do I need to be organized around? Or what changes might I need to make to get the different results so that I don't keep getting the same thing over and over again? That's ultimately what we're trying to do. We want to help equip you and you to equip your team to organize your way, I'll use that word loosely, to set up your systems so that we are fruitful. That's a biblical concept. We're faithful stewards of what God has given us. And so that leadership pipeline, that first level, self-leadership, he says, use what you are already doing. Because some of you are like, how am I going to add leadership development to my routine? Use what you already have. If you're developing other leaders, do you know what you already have every single week? A weekend message. It doesn't have to be your favorite. But there are discussion questions out of that weekend message that you can invite somebody to speak into. You can use that to help them develop some self-leadership. You also have a daily living it out. You have the Matthew reading plan, the app. You have all of these tools right in front of you that are a part of our rhythm that can help you in your self-leadership and can help others in their self-leadership as well. And if you want to help develop somebody's leadership of others, what can you use? Well, that's what this staff video update is for. I mean, I spend time on my week thinking through different leadership principles. Yes, there are some announcements, but principles that are going to help you go further, faster in your leadership. You can use the staff meeting content to help others lead others. You can use the Dream Team nights and the content that we create there or share with you there. And then you could add on books and podcasts. But the truth is, in your weekly rhythm, there are already things being provided to you. It doesn't have to be mind-blowing. They're right in front of you to use with your team to help others learn how to lead others. And if you want to help the next tier, lead leaders, the way that you do that is you have to give them something small to be in charge of, to lead. Like they're not going to develop being a leader of other leaders until you give them an assignment or some responsibility where they have to then equip people who are leading others in some small way. Don't give them more than they can handle. Give them something. I think Mike did a great job of talking about that. You don't have to add new things to your rhythm. Use what you've already got, and I think that will help. And so hopefully that's a resource or a framework for you to think about how to take what you've heard and not try to just add more to your life, but use or organize your life in such a way where you're using what we already do, to help develop others. The second thing that I want to share with you is as you are developing others and as you're pouring into leaders, here's one thing that's going to happen. It's happening to you already. People are going to come to you and they're going to share how they feel. They're overwhelmed. Oh, it's so much. I can't do it. And we as leaders oftentimes take an enormous amount of responsibility for the fatigue and exhaustion that everybody feels. We should care about it, yes. But think about this. You may be the only safe place for them to talk about what it is that they're overwhelmed by. And so a framework a conversation thing that I heard as I was preparing for I Said This, You Heard That, from Charles Duhigg is you got to learn how to get on the same page, have the same conversation with the person that's having a conversation with you. If you have somebody, when I have somebody coming to me, in my mind, I'm asking the question, write this down. Do they want help? Are they really looking for help? Or are they having a different conversation? Do they just want to be heard? Like they just need somebody in their life to go, man, I see that you're carrying a lot. And I get to be that person. Or third, do they want a hug? Now, that doesn't mean you should hug everybody at work. Marcia, I'm not saying hug everybody. You could have a few awkward HR incidents. But the third one is really about some sort of care. Do they just need care? Help, heard, care. Once you get on the same page with somebody, it's powerful. This actually works with my kids. The other day, Mary was having all sorts of big feelings about something, and I sat down and I said, Mary, tell me what's going on. And for 3 minutes, it was like one thing to another, all over the place. And I said, do you want me to help you? Did you just want me to listen? Or do you want a hug? And she just turned around and she put her head right on my shoulder and just sat there, and I gave her a hug for a minute. And then she took a deep breath and she turned around and she went to work. She was just feeling a lot. She needed to know that I cared about her. And so once you have the same conversation, I could have gotten all worked up. You're behind. You should stay focused. I'm not doing enough. I should be doing more. I want to take the burden away from her. But instead, when you have the same conversation or learn how to have that same conversation, I think that's really helpful with the people that you're leading. So those are a couple content pieces I didn't want you to miss. Hopefully that's helpful. We'll see you guys this weekend.